primetime Poulton, keep it entertaining. You already knowin', outworking everybody and he don't ever quit. Talking about plenty comics like Graveyard Shift, Sea Dogs, Fighting Wolf, U.S. Assassin, doing just what he loves. This is his passion. Bring more value to your dollar. No, I'm not frontin'. That's how just a writer became a moral compass. This is primetime Poulton. This is primetime Poulton. Let's go.
Yo, what's up, guys? Happy Friday. It's the Moral Compass. With me, Cowboy Phil McNulty. Phil, what's going on, man?
Not much, just spending today recuperating from heartbreak. Last night, my Dallas Cowboys lost a one they let slip away, and the referees didn't help. But this week in wrestling has been phenomenal. I'm looking forward to tonight for the first time in a long time to the WWE product, because SmackDown, it's looking good from MSG.
All right, we got Jamie East in the chat. Hail, Jamie. Leroy is with us. It's been a while. He says, let the gay begin. He also says, fix your hat, Phil. You are embarrassing those of us who live in the heartland. Tell him.
Shoot. This is a shoot, Leroy. I have a dent in my head. Like, real life, when I was born, I had a little bit of a problem there, so I have a little dent in my head. So even if I wear a regular hat, it's tilted. So that's just the way it is. That's a shoot.
I think it looks gangster, Phil.
Of course, so do the ladies.
Past Master Dan, he's here for some wrestling. We got Hicks Villain in the house. What's up, Hicks Villain? So I'm sitting a little higher. I'm in my throne.
Oh my God! Yes, I was gonna say you're looking a little taller, because normally I'm used to.
Yeah.
But now we're up and ready to go.
I upgraded. The Fulfillment King needs his throne.
Would you like to tell the lovely audience where you got that throne?
So I was driving around one day. I still work my day job, and I spend a lot of time on the road. And I was driving around, and I saw this magnificent chair just on the side of the road, discarded. You know, some king must have passed, and there was no heir to the throne. So the homeowner was just like, all right, you know, no one's worthy of this chair. We're going to just put it out there. Then I just so happened to be driving by.
Hey, Fulfillment King needs a throne.
Yeah, Past Master Dan, did you spray it first? Oh, I gave it a full cleaning. It's perfect. Leroy says, nice. All I needed was an excuse to send Phil a helmet. What's his P.O. box?
Well, you can. I already have a Cowboys helmet. If you want to send me another one, that's totally fine, Leroy. I'll shoot you a DM.
Past Master Dan smells like ass and weed. No, it smells great. It smells regal. So we didn't talk all out because I was on vacation. Phil, I went to Lancaster, Pennsylvania. I went to the Cartoon Network hotel. It's next to Dutch Wonderland. The website makes the Cartoon Network hotel look a little more glamorous than it really is.
Well, let's see. I saw the picture you sent, and I was like, oh, that looks pretty legit, but I'm guessing the inside was nothing to write home about.
Well, so that is really just the lobby and where they have a couple suites.
Okay.
The regular rooms are just your regular Motel 6 brick strip of rooms that they just gave a Cartoon Network makeover to.
So it's not like it's not like one of those. I mean, I've seen some legit themed hotels in my day. There's one in Cherry Hill called the Feather's Nest, where you can make sweet, passionate love in King Tut's tomb. You can pretend like you're on the Blue Lagoon, go down a certain water slide. It's so they didn't fancy it up like one of those classy joints.
No, not at all. It's still a good time. Chase had a great time. That's all that matters. Leroy says I should have went to the Hershey Park instead, you noob. I've been to the Hershey Park probably like a dozen times, so been there, done that. I decided to do something different. So there you go, Leroy. So while I was away, All Out happened. But before we get into that, I just want to let people know, Viking Wolf, still in fulfillment. I mean, still in demand. Fulfillment begins soon. Phil, I drove 3 hours today and picked up some prints in North Jersey. The Kenneth Rocafort 9x12 poster and the Gun Goth 11x17 poster. So fulfillment begins very soon on this. I'm just wrapping up Sea Dog and Codename Killswitch. Just waiting on Clint's sketches, which should be here this coming week. And I'll get that out of the way. But still time to order your copy of Viking Wolf. You'll get the Gun Goth poster. You'll get the Kenneth Rocafort Viking Wolf poster.
And you get a pinup by yours truly inside.
Yep. The book is going to look amazing. What do we have? Phil Diaz is with us. What's up, Phil? Thanks for joining us. All right, All Out. This pay-per-view. So a lot of people are saying greatest pay-per-view of all time. Still, though, I can't believe the number of people complaining about AEW. Oh, too many surprises. They made the people too happy, Phil.
How dare a company go out of its way and spend money that they haven't turned a profit yet, but how dare they spend money on the people that you want to see every week? How dare they spend money and give them health benefits even though they're not unionized? Get the hell out. I will say this, All Out. I had time to think of this. I sent you a text message and I said, I don't smoke, but after that pay-per-view, I needed a cigarette. And I had the time, and I said, because when we do the pod gods, I will say it's the greatest pay-per-view since WrestleMania 17. I'm going to go out on a further leap and say this was the greatest wrestling pay-per-view ever. It was so damn good. I absolutely loved it. The surprises, the swerve at the end with Adam Cole, baby. Like, it is. I was never more excited for a Dynamite than Wednesday's episode.
Yeah, no, pay-per-view, absolutely amazing. Past Master Dan wants to know, Phil, not being mean, but where did you get that shirt? My childhood?
Yes. No, I got it at a thrift store in Texas.
Leroy says, Phil, you can interest me in a 2014 F-150.
That's okay. I don't need to be any type of salesman, Leroy. I am a acclaimed comic book artist and a wonderful teacher, so I ain't hurting for money.
Phil Diaz says, Phil was cooming after All Out.
Mm-hmm. It was amazing. I did need a new pair of shorts.
And Jamie says, those shirts are all over Texas. So, yeah, I watched it the next day. Fantastic. I had seen everyone's timeline on Twitter lighting up with all the AEW talk. But yeah, I still couldn't believe there was those people out there that I can't even understand how you could be angry about this pay-per-view.
I love these are for some reason the people who say, "Oh, you're signing all these ex-WWE guys." Like, where else are they going to come from besides the indies, which basically AEW is built off of, taking everyone from all the other promotions and building their company around them. But they're the same people who a year ago, 6 months ago, even 90 days ago said, "Oh, they're being so misused in the WWE. They need to get out of there." Well, where else do you expect them to go besides the hottest game in town, the best wrestling show and company in the world right now?
Yeah, this week's Dynamite, I don't know if there was a more anticipated episode of wrestling, probably in 30, maybe not 30 years, 25 years.
Now, I didn't think Adam Cole was going to be there. I thought maybe they'd save him for Arthur Ashe, and I was expecting Daniel Bryan. I've watched wrestling for decades, and they got me. They got me when Adam Cole came out, and I said, holy, that was one of the few times I just sat back and went, holy shit. And then when he joined the Elite, I was like, okay, who's coming out? And I thought, again, they would save Bryan Danielson for Arthur Ashe, but that just makes me excited because I think we're going to get not one, but I think we're going to get 2 debuts coming up in Arthur Ashe. I don't know if Bray Wyatt is. I don't think Bray Wyatt will be able to make it in time. Yeah. But I think he will be sometime in October. And what a great time to sort of bring the Dark Order back together. But I have a theory on what former WWE champion and Universal champion is going to pop up at Arthur Ashe. And I think it's been a great story that AEW has slowly been building. And that's going to come from the surprise of Dan Lambert.
Interesting. Do you want to give that now, or you want to talk all out?
Let's talk. Well, I'll go ahead and say it. I think Braun Strowman is going to come out and just start killing people. I think he's the guy that Dan Lambert's going to bring out, and we're going to see. Then we're going to maybe he'll take down Suzuki, and then we'll get an Archer and Strowman battle. So
it'll be interesting. All right, All Out last Sunday. The buy-in 10-man tag team match. We got Orange Cassidy, Chuck Taylor, Wheeler Yuta, and Jurassic Express against Matt Hardy, Private Party, and TH2. Jurassic Express, Yuta, Taylor, and Cassidy got the win. This was expected from both of us. Orange Cassidy's not losing to the Hardy brand.
I think when it comes to the Hardy brand, I didn't know what the hell they were doing afterwards. Like they tried to cut his hair or whatnot. Yeah. And I'm glad they did a promo this week on Dynamite with Matt Hardy actually bringing a promo to actually explain it.
We got Ronnie Wrights with us. What's up, Ronnie? Phil Diaz asked, question, do you think AEW getting a bunch of talent from WWE will build animosity in the locker room with the OG AEW stars? I think they should be excited about everything that's going on with their company. AEW is getting bigger and bigger, and Rampage eventually is going to become 2 hours. It just has to, because there's so much steam behind AEW. There's going to be enough TV, I think, for everyone. Not only do you have Rampage, but you have Elevation, you have AEW Dark. Phil, I heard that AEW Dark and Elevation possibly moving to Orlando to be taped out of the same studio where Impact used to be filmed.
I'm looking forward to that. I hope so. I think it'll keep, you won't have to travel as much. You'll still be able to say, it's going to make it sort of feel like that special, like Attitude Era Raw and SmackDown, where you had some guys pop up here, some guys pop up there. And it's making us, they're doing such a great job with talent where they're giving them a little off season. Every star goes away for a little bit and then comes back bigger than ever. Like we know that Hangman, took some time off for the birth of his child. When he comes out, it's going to be huge. His pop's going to be insane. And to answer Phil Diaz's question, I think it's going to cause more animosity with those guys that were signed later. Like we already see Brian Cage's wife releasing a video saying, oh, you're booking him wrong. But how many times have we been saying that he's the least charismatic of Team Taz? Even Taz's son, Hook, who hasn't said a word, is more charismatic than this Wolverine so far. I just think that these guys who signed going in thinking they were going to be a big star, there because it was the hottest game in town. I think Tony Khan gave Matt Sydal, the Joker spot. He slipped. He literally slipped and fell out of favor. You see Brian Cage, who just hasn't cut a really good promo. He's had some good matches. He hasn't had really great matches. I think even Andrade thought he'd probably be a bigger star, but he's stuck in a feud that really isn't moving the needle. So I mean, you're going to get probably the later guys who were signed have a little animosity, feeling like their signings are being overshadowed. But like we said, when Danielson and Punk are available, you sign them. When Adam Cole, who was the single reason why NXT was competitive on Wednesdays, is a free agent, you sign him, right? Bray Wyatt. Now Kevin Owens, his contract's up in January. He's going to go back with his friends and join AEW. You got to sign the guys who are stars. That's how you build your product.
Yeah, no, it reminds me a lot of crowdfunded comics. The big two guys saw all the money being made on Indiegogo, Kickstarter, and was like, hey, I want to get into this too. And it just means you have to step your game up. These guys that are, if there is any animosity, get over. It's that easy. Then you'll get on TV.
How many times have we look at Matt Cardona isn't even on AEW, and he is probably the most over he has been in his career because he pops up. You can just be on Instagram and somehow he'll pop up. That's the brand he's building. Get over on your own and you'll be rewarded.
Speaking of Matt Cardona, forget about the Montreal screw job. We had the Chicago screw job over the weekend. GCW champion, Universal champion, Matt Cardona defending his title against Frank the Clown, defeats him, and then Jon Moxley attacks him from behind and is proclaimed the GCW world champion. There was no bell ringing. It wasn't a hardcore match, yet the ring was full of broken glass. What's going on?
I don't know. Was that not one of the most confusing booked matches of the weekend? There's GCW was put on the map by Matt Cardona's presence alone.
Yeah.
They got a little boost. I think Moxley is a content champion. I don't think he ever wants to. Once he gets the belt, he's done. Whether it be WWE Championship, US title, Universal title, the AEW Heavyweight Championship, and now the GCW. Even in New Japan, when he was United States, that's why they moved the belt, to Lance Archer. You got to think Moxley is not a good champion. I don't know why they continuously try to hitch, their wagon to him. He's never going to bring you to that next level. I'm sorry.
Yep. Hicks Villain says Strowman should take WWE off, or AEW is not the place for big guys. I don't think WWE hasn't done anything with Braun Strowman incredibly interesting, except for his romance with Alexa Bliss. I think that was the only time people were behind Braun Strowman.
When he was just tearing down sets and running Roman Reigns through walls and shit, that's when you were just like, this is fantastic. If Dan Lambert brings him in, right, that would be just squashing the vanilla midgets. That would be such a great gimmick for Braun Strowman, who's talked shit to Evil Uno on Instagram. It just having because everyone knows AEW is like your favorites, your indies. You're like, we're rooting for you. If they bring a guy to be the indie killer, that would be a great gimmick. And I think you got to sign him because he's a name. You don't have to push him to the top. He doesn't need a championship. I feel worse for all ego Ethan Page.
Hicks Villain says Brian Cage has been feuding with Starks forever. The whole Team Taz, I think, booking has been strange since the Darby feud was forever, and then the rift between Cage and Starks has been almost as long. Leroy says everyone is jealous of our gay cat books. Yeah, Shane Davis killing it. Ronnie Wright says, I don't follow GCW, but when I saw that, I was like, what the? Yeah, head scratcher. Mm-hmm. All right. Buy-ins out of the way. We're on to the pay-per-view TNT Championship match. Eddie Kingston versus Miro. I wasn't feeling this feud, but this match was fantastic. Probably the best match both of them have had since they've joined AEW.
Miro, the greatest TNT champion of all time. I was disappointed that I didn't get to see him on Wednesday. That's how good Miro has been doing. Fantastic gimmick. Knew he was going to go over. It's going to be a while before he drops the belt.
Eddie Kingston, everything he does, he makes look real, except for maybe selling an explosion that's not there.
Even he covered it up with his PTSD. I'll say he sold it.
I give him credit. Yeah, but fantastic match. Kingston actually showed me a lot with the suplexes he was putting on Miro. The announcers were doing a good job selling that, if you hit Miro in the head, that's your only chance. You could knock him out. So fantastic match. Like you said, Miro, best TNT champion of all time. It's going to be a long title reign, I think.
Agreed. I'm all for it.
Next up, we have, we're just talking about him, Jon Moxley versus Satoshi Kojima. Kojima, who we had seen, a month earlier over in Impact.
Yeah, I don't speak English.
Yep. Well, that's why you have announcers like Jim Ross, Excalibur, who build this guy up to make him sound like he's amazing. They did a fantastic job making this guy sound like he was a superstar.
Yeah, I had to think back. I was like, is this the I don't speak English guy from Impact? And really, that's what announcers are for. They made me care. They told the story with the lariat, which I thought was hilarious. It was such a good. Moxley matches don't do anything for me. I'm not really sold on this beating Japanese senior citizens gimmick Moxley's running right now. But man, it was great.
Yeah, Moxley got the win, and then afterwards, the Death Grandpa, Minoru Suzuki, came out and challenged him, and they wrestled this week on Dynamite. Suzuki dropping Moxley on his head at the end of this match, though.
Yeah, it's funny because Dynamite, Moxley got over with the victory, and then we're getting, for this upcoming Wednesday, we're getting Suzuki Gun. So we're getting Lance Archer and Suzuki back, and I guess this goes for another match for Moxley.
Yep, the forbidden door, Phil, is wide open. All right, now we have AEW's Women's Championship match, Chris Statlander against the champ, Dr. Britt Baker, DMD. No surprise here. Britt Baker wins.
This match was better than it had any right to be. That Pittsburgh Sunset was amazing. Britt Baker is just rocking it. There's no better female wrestler in the world right now than Britt Baker. I know she's not the best in the ring, but her storytelling, fantastic. Her promo is amazing. And she just absolutely put on her best match ever. Oh, this match was so good.
Orange Cassidy in the corner of Chris Statlander, showing a little fire, a little passion, trying to give Chris Statlander a pep talk. That was a little out of character.
Get up, Chris. I mean, she paid for it, but man, I'm not a Statlander fan, but man, those two women put on a hell of. It was the one match I expected to go grab something to eat, and I was in my chair the whole time. It was so good.
Phil Diaz says, "God damn, Britt is over. I love it." Did you see AEW how I got the Blood Brothers, bloody Rhodes Brothers figures? They're doing a bloody Britt Baker figure.
Let me chime in on, since you brought up the Rhodes Brothers. This Wednesday, I do not need to see Dustin Rhodes in a 15-minute match against Malachi Black. No way should Malachi have bumped for 10-plus minutes against Dustin to just end with he hit his head in the corner and then whiff on a black mass. Like, it should have been done. Go get your quick punches in like you started the match. Hit him with a black mass, grab the boot, put it in his face, and hit him again. That should not have been 15 minutes.
Agreed. All right. Steel cage match for the AEW Tag Team Championship. We got the Lucha Brothers against the champs, Young Bucks. Maybe one of the best tag team matches of all time, Phil.
I was about to ask, what do you like better? Do you like this match, the Lucha Bros and Bucks in the cage, or do you like from a few years ago, Hangman and Kenny versus the Bucks?
So the Hangman Kenny match was fantastic, but I think I like this one just a little more. The blood added to it, the tacked sneaker. Just there was just so much going on. Plus, our man Alex is there.
I'm gonna give it up for their promo on Dynamite for the Fallout. Did you see they didn't wipe the blood off the belts? They actually kept the blood on the belts, and Alex is doing such a great job as a manager for both of these guys. I was totally surprised with the outcome, and that is great. Lucha Bros deserved it. They've been awesome for so long, and it's hell of a match. Oh, it was so good. And then when they said that, and then when Don Callis sold it even more, saying, you know what, you should be proud of the Elite and the Bucks because they gave you the best match ever. Great job.
Zaid Comics says the story in this match was great. The finish could have been better, but still amazing. Yeah, I was really surprised. I didn't think Lucha Brothers were winning. I thought the Elite was keeping the gold for a while longer. But man, this match had me sucked in, and I was so happy when the Lucha Brothers finally pulled it off.
I think Penta is Penta's a different wrestler when he tags with Ray. Like you can tell, like he just loves working with his brother. And when he went in front of Ray to take the tack shot to the face, I legit got hot. I legit was heated, and that's when I've always been a Bucks fan, and I was rooting for the Bucks. But after that moment, I cheered on the Lucha Bros, and the Bucks did exactly what they needed to do to get even more fans over to the Lucha Bros. Such a good match. Can't even tell you how much I love this match. It was so good.
Yeah, it was fantastic. Mm-hmm. Now we have the women's casino battle royal match. You called it. The Joker, Ruby Soho. She wins the match. What'd you think?
Good call. I'm glad it was down between her and Thunder Rosa. I think they're going to stretch out. I think Ruby's coming in. She's going to drop the match to Britt, and then I think Thunder Rosa is going to end up, and we're going to get a nice full circle match at Full Gear probably between Thunder Rosa and Britt Baker. But that match with Jamie Hayter was brutal. Dynamite, that fall, I don't know what they were going for, but she has a presence, a following. Good call.
It's funny you brought up Jamie Hayter. Can we talk about Jamie Hayter for a second? She's been the talk of my timeline on Facebook and all the wrestling pages. Do you know why?
Why? What's that?
Jamie Hayter's butt looks like Rey Mysterio's mask. If you look at the gear she wears, it is Rey Mysterio's mask.
I've now some research to do. Thank you.
Yeah. No, she has those straps around her thigh, right. And then there's skin, and then there's her rear. And it forms Rey Mysterio's mask. I'm not the only one who's seen this. Many people have pointed it out. And I'm going to just say I've always loved Rey Mysterio in any incarnation he's done. And
his best work is being Jamie Hayter's rear.
Yeah. Check it out. It's a thing. And it's pretty funny once you see it.
Things you can't unsee.
Absolutely. All right. Next up, the final fight, Chris Jericho versus MJF. I'm going to say your boy's entrance left a lot to be desired.
Listen, I saw that. Now you couldn't hear the fans, the guitar. Listen, Fozzy is Fozzy. I appreciate what they're going for, but damn, MJF's was awesome. When that countdown happened, I got so excited, and then when MJF popped out, oh, what a good call by MJF. Chris Jericho wrestled a 2001-2002 match, and it made me feel like the South Park internet guy meme because I was loving it, and I bought the finish with the foot on the rope. I loved Aubrey's, ringing the bell, and I thought this was a good way for him to leave, do his touring, and then come back and say, my foot was on the rope. I didn't think it was overbooked at all. I thought it was a great match. It had me on the edge of my seat the whole time because you really didn't know what the outcome was. And I'm so glad to see Jericho win a match with the Walls of Jericho again.
Yeah, I thought it was an excellent match. If I had any complaint, it would be usually referees' decision is final. They don't usually go back and, at least in AEW, they don't, and go back after, conferring with another referee and restarting the match with the dusty finish. But I think the right person won. I didn't want to see it be over for Jericho. I still think there's more for him he can do in AEW.
Oh, I'm expecting him to win the TNT Championship before he leaves it. He just needs more belts. I think it would be a nice another tip of the cap, if you will, to the GOAT of professional wrestling.
Man, speaking of more belts, he's getting more action figures. I was showing you some photos. They had their fan festival the day before the pay-per-view, and Jazzware released a whole bunch of pictures of upcoming figures. Jericho has a ton of new figures on the way. So if you're a Jericho collector, you're going to be very happy.
But your wallet won't.
Absolutely. All right. Next up, we have CM Punk versus Darby Allen. I was really surprised this wasn't the main event. I thought, I think in everyone's mind it was the main event. I thought they would put this on last since it was Chicago, but no. My first reaction or my first thought is, Phil, what did you think of CM Punk's look wearing the long tights?
I am for it. I loved this is my favorite match. This was my favorite match of the night. I don't know if it was just because I hadn't seen Punk wrestle in nearly a decade. I don't know if it was because the Chicago fans really just sold Punk. I don't know if it's because Darby, they were dueling Darby and CM Punk chants that made me say, man, this kid really is over. But Darby, this really showed Darby doesn't do the flips and shit. This was a great technically wrestled match, and it seemed familiar. Do you know what opening spots they mimicked during this match?
I do. It was Bret Hart versus the 1-2-3 Kid.
Exactly right. It was a fantastic match. Punk, you could tell. I loved the story of him selling like he couldn't keep up. The man is in the best shape of his life. He is jacked. You could just tell. Going into UFC, he retained that body that he had, and I loved just the story of him knocking the rust off, the wind being out of him. Like, I don't know, this guy when he hit that GTS and he rolled out and he was like, no, like you really felt, well, maybe Darby has a shot. But that ending when he sat up and just laughed at that missed coffin whiff, I call it, that was the spot for me. It really, everyone says, oh, Punk isn't the best in the world. He is the best in the world because he makes you care about everything that he does.
Yeah, it's you mentioned that the finish where he just sat up, moved out of the way. Simple, but it shows he outsmarted Darby. Very reminiscent of like when someone does a dive and Samoa Joe just steps to the right or steps to the left. Anyone could do that, but no one ever does. It's one of the wrestling tropes. So it was a smart move. Ronnie Wright says, I was glad to hear the dueling chants. Shows Darby is over too, and Punk wasn't all the fans were thinking about.
Yeah. And I totally forgot that Tall Paul White was on this card.
So did I. I thought it was main event time after this.
I think it was good that it was on there because that crowd was just done.
Yeah, everyone needed a chance to to get their souvenirs, their popcorn, take their bathroom break, and we had the perfect opportunity. We had Paul White versus our guy QT Marshall. I'm just happy QT made the pay-per-view. Greatest pay-per-view of all time, and our man's on it.
It was what it was. I thought maybe they would give QT Marshall the win, but Big Show never did jobs in the E. He won't do anything in the AE dub.
Yeah, so Paul White makes short work of QT, and it's now main event time. We have the AEW World Championship match. Christian Cage is going against the champion, Kenny Omega. And this match, while good, it was all about the finish and the surprises afterwards.
People are like, I don't know why the crowd isn't into this match. Why is the crowd in this match? It's because we didn't want to see Christian. As much as we like Christian, we didn't want to see him. We didn't want to see him. We already saw the match on Rampage, which was a couple of weeks prior. So we knew, and plus this was the only match on the card that we knew there was a definitive outcome. You could make a case for all the other matches that someone else would win. But we knew Kenny Omega was not dropping the World Championship to Christian Cage, and we were all simply just waiting for what would happen after the match.
Yeah, no, I agree 100%. Christian's match was Rampage, and once he won that title, the Impact title, you knew without a shadow of a doubt he was getting the L in this match.
I think it was, and I do think it was overbooked at the end there. Does Christian really need a distraction from the Good Brothers and Don Callis to lose to Kenny Omega? Kenny Omega was just number one on PWI's 500. He doesn't need distraction finishes, to win matches. He especially doesn't need one against Christian Cage.
Yeah. So after the match, the Elite beat down Christian. Jungle Boy, Luchasaurus, Marco Stunt, they come out to try to save Christian. They get beat down too. The Elite are celebrating. Kenny Omega says there's not a man alive or dead who can beat him. Then the lights go out. And who shows up? A dead man. Not The Undertaker, but Adam Cole, baby.
This was great. For the first time in a long time, to see no one from the WWE main roster, like NXT, be the first real superstar from NXT to defect over, and someone who people wanted to see on the main roster. So even Vince McMahon as a heel manager. Crazy to think that he would leave because he actually wanted to wrestle. A wrestler wanting to wrestle. Who knew, Moral Compass?
Yeah, let's talk about this. So the idea for Adam Cole, if he had stayed with WWE, was he was going to be a manager for Keith Lee.
Neither Cole nor Keith Lee needed that. I just don't. I mean, Vince is just so out of touch, with the product, and now we know why he took over NXT and why he's taking it over. Shout out to Paul Levesque, also known as Triple H, Hunter Hearst Helmsley. He had a little bit of a cardiac event. He's been dealing with, and wait till that guy. I feel that
idea probably caused it.
Yeah, if Adam Cole as a manager.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, so Adam Cole appears. You think he's going to save the day. He's going to save Christian. No, he super kicks Jungle Boy. And then he's embraced by the Bucks, Kenny Omega. They give him a kiss. And he's like, of course he's with the Elite. These are my best friends.
It was Kenny Omega's promo was one of the most genuine promos I've seen in professional wrestling. When he said, "You think I'd be afraid of this guy? He's one of my best friends in the world. Why would I think he'd come out to take my title?" It just made so much sense. I loved this twist because then you were like, okay, is Danielson coming out? Is he not coming out?
So Kenny Omega goes into his whole spiel, how he ends the night, his little saying. And honestly, I think if they had ended the night, people would have went home happy.
Yeah.
But no, one more surprise. Out comes Bryan Danielson. They didn't get Europe's final countdown. Apparently, they wanted $50,000 every time it's played.
That's insane. Just insane. You'd think that, think of, I mean, and it's really what, Europe? Are they really, in living color?
They've been off that song for 40 years.
Like, man, you guys, you're getting a whole new demo. You're getting 18 to 49 demo, number one, beating Monday Night Raw, and you're not going to try to get new fans? Come on, man.
Yeah, Ronnie Wright says, I thought Bryan wasn't going to come out after Cole did. So, he comes out to basically a remix of his WWE music, Flight of the Valkyrie, and he doesn't point. He was like... he doesn't. If you watched his interview afterwards, I think he's a little confused on what actually he can do. He doesn't know if he can say yes. Tony Khan said they don't own the trademark on that. They're still trying to figure out what he can and can't do. But he looked very excited to be there. The crowd was way into it, and he chases off with the help of Christian. Luchasaurus, Jungle Boy chases off the Elite. I did not see Marco stunt in the fight. Maybe they said Marco go away.
Do we need Marco? First of all, do we need anything from Marco stunt ever? The man has been. I'll give it to him. If there's one guy who is just a bottom feeder that is just getting money to do absolute nothing, it is Marco Stunt. Man, my favorite moment in AEW history was when Omega first turned heel and just beat the crap out of Marco Stunt. It was the most satisfying things I've ever watched.
Man, I saw Marco at the GCW event in Atlantic City where Cardona won the title. He was over big time there. The fans loved him. But when the Jurassic Express 2-pack figure was released, I never saw anyone so sad on Twitter like he was. He literally tweeted like he didn't understand why he wasn't released in that set.
He wasn't part of the original group. He's just lucky to be living off two talented individuals. He's like that small little fish that floats on like the teeth of the whales and just eats like the crumbs off of it. That's who Marco Stunt is.
Brutal. Johnny Cage says we wouldn't be able to see Marco even if he was there anyway. Hicks Villain says they didn't want people to notice Adam Cole and Marco Stunt are the same height.
It will be interesting on Wednesday. In fact, I think I might be there at the show this Wednesday because it's tickets that were from Blood and Guts all the way that were sold back in 2019.
Oh, so wow.
I think I may actually be at Dynamite on this Wednesday. But it's going to be interesting to see, Adam Cole in person, because if he looks small and skinny on the television, I can only imagine what he looks like in person. But I'm excited to see him wrestle live. It'll be a first.
Hicks Villain says it was shocking that Tony Khan finally found something he couldn't afford. And Comic Book Bob says, I like Marco, but his in-ring presence is done.
Agreed.
So that was it for AEW All Out. Fantastic show. Everyone went home happy. Some people who weren't in attendance, like we said, were complaining. But, man, you got everything you wanted and more, I think. Like, no one expected all the reveals. You got Ruby Soho, which people were expecting. You got Bryan Danielson, which people were expecting. And then you got Adam Cole, which people weren't expecting.
And apparently the USA Network is pissed that they didn't get Adam Cole. that they didn't re-sign Adam Cole because he has so much goodwill with NXT being the face of NXT. Probably, I would say Adam Cole is probably the biggest face of the entire NXT history. You know, even starting back from Seth Rollins, there was no guy who made NXT other than Adam Cole in the Undisputed era. And it's just amazing that as soon as I said it a couple weeks ago, I said, when you can travel every day with the person that you love, and that person you love is Britt Baker, how are you going to, and the company is run by your best friends, how are you going to pass that up? I think that's why maybe like they didn't even try as hard. And I think besides that, and Vince being the senile old man that he is and didn't know what he had, it's just crazy to me.
Yeah. So apparently they had an all hands on deck meeting. Hopefully this brings out the best in the WWE. The way they're going right now, I don't know. The storytelling has been, with the exception of Roman Reigns, I think the storytelling has been terrible. I do like the Indy Hartwell, Dexter Loomis story going on in NXT, but with a revamped NXT, are any of those guys even on Vince's radar?
No. You know, and it's funny because I even turned into I haven't watched Monday Night Raw in years, or a year since the pandemic. I've just been so disgusted with the product. You know, I'll turn on the network to see their pay-per-views, but I've never sat down and actively watched Raw. And I thought, you know what? I'm going to do it on Monday. I'm going to see if they book the show to try to actually start competing, start some new faces. And it, same old, same old. It was just terrible.
Yeah, so La Pod Gods is going to start going twice a week soon. Do we venture into WWE land and start watching Raw?
Yes. Yes, I will. You know what? I will drink. I'll get a nice little alcoholic beverage as I watch. And I will tell you at what point of the show I really got hammered. Because I don't think I can watch Raw for 3 hours sober. You know, here I am wanting Dynamite to be a third hour, and it ends the way it did. I know everyone's up in arms about Suzuki not getting his full entrance and his full song, but then again, that goes back to why is Dustin Rhodes fighting Malachi Black for 15 minutes? It should have been done in 2.
All right. So, Phil, I'm going to some wrestling this weekend. I am going to Ring of Honor's Death Before Dishonor. And that is in Philadelphia at the old ECW Arena. I am meeting up with Flip Gordon prior to the show. He's going to sign some prints for the U.S. Assassin campaign. Speaking of which, U.S. Assassin is on day 20 on Indiegogo. We are like we're $817 away from 25,000, and that will get everyone a free ash can. The thing, it's going to be interesting when I visit Flip, though. I don't know if you know this, but he is suffering from amnesia. When I went to the pay-per-view, Glory by Honor, he was pile driven, and he doesn't remember anything since 2018. He was asking where Matt and Nick were. He does not even remember being the mercenary.
Maybe he does remember being the mercenary, because maybe U.S. Assassin takes place prior to 2018.
One can only hope. But yeah, maybe seeing some of the artwork and talking to me will re-jog his memory. But yeah, the mercenary has a bout of amnesia. It'll be interesting to see how that plays out on Ring of Honor TV. But while we're here, Phil, let's just watch the U.S. Assassin trailer.
Exactly, and if only there was a tier that even Flip Gordon could see to remember his origin.
Yep. So here we go.
I'm the mercenary, Flip Gordon. And I'm joining the U.S. Assassins team.
Yeah, this is U.S. Assassin. They bout the action, ready to make it happen. Yeah, this is the elite government task force. Whole team is official. What more could you ask for? Yeah, this is U.S. Assassin. You don't want drama. If they pull up, they blasting. Monsters of the graveyard shift. You ain't never seen a squad quite like this. We got Bazooka Dog, and he don't cut no slack. A dog with a giant bazooka on his back. Sliver is a reptilian, alien. 3 snakes for a tongue. You don't want to mess with him. Sensei Steel, who is so mysterious. Martial artist and trainer. Swift with the kids. Zero Face is a bad guy turned good. The mercenary is a beast. Get it understood. Takeout is a fast shooter, fast draw. Kirby is the Lone Ranger, but she hits hard. Lieutenant Drake, second in command. Yes, indeed. Who's the brains of the team? A super ninja at the lead. Yeah, hey, this is U.S. Assassin. Yeah, this is U.S. Assassin. Let's go.
There you have it. U.S. Assassin 3, Graveyard Shift. To answer Phil Diaz, this is storyline. Flip does not have amnesia. He is fine. He's in perfect health. But if you want more on the mercenary Flip Gordon, pick up the Mercenary Bazooka Dog Flip book. It will tell you all about the mercenary's background, where he was prior to this volume. And it's a nice shiny foil cover, wraparound foil cover, with the other side being a Bazooka Dog drawn by me and my son Chase. But plenty of great tiers. I would suggest just going all in and getting that collector's box with the mercenary on it. That'll get you 6 books. Mike McMahon's cover to U.S. Assassin, that beautiful Matt Martin cover with Lilith in the tub. You'll get the black and white edition with the nice Eric Weathers cover. You'll get the collected edition of U.S. Assassin that combines volumes 1 and 2 and has that fantastic Aaron Alfeche cover. Then you get the Mercenary Bazooka Dog Flip book, and then you get, as an added bonus, my script book, the script to U.S. Assassin 3 with a nice foil wraparound cover by Andrew Mangum. But that's not all, Phil. You also get a signed print by the man himself, the Mercenary Flip Gordon. That's actually why I'm meeting up with him this weekend. He's going to sign those prints for me, and you'll get a sketch from Mike McMahon. I would say you could go all out and get the Steel Force tier, but that is sold out, Phil. All 5 of the Steel Force cases have been claimed. And our boy OC Steve, he started it last week. He got the ball rolling. He went all in and got the Steel Force tier. And then once they saw that 3 were left, everyone just started snatching them up.
It's an amazing gimmick. I love a good gimmick. This is a great gimmick. Being drawn in the book alone is worth the price of admission. And then you get everything else on top. No better deal.
Yeah, no, I think maybe we undervalued it a little bit. $500 is most expensive, one of the most expensive tiers I've ever had. But, getting drawn into the book and being a part of the team, that's something special. And that will be for volume 4. But you'll get, when those 5 get their sketches, it'll be of what their character is going to look like in the upcoming volume.
That's fantastic.
Yep. So 10 days left in our first 30 days of the campaign. So close to 25,000. And Mike has said if we hit 50,000 at the end of the 60 days, he'll draw everyone a sketch. So we could get close to that. That'll be crazy. But Mike, if anyone will do it, Mike will do it. He did close to 300 sketch cards for our last campaign. So he loves to give the people added value.
Mike's a man of the people.
Yep. Nope. No one loves doing this and giving giving the people more than Mike McMahon. So yeah, definitely. If you haven't backed U.S. Assassin, please do so, or share it if you've already backed the book. Phil, when will the people next see us? Are we coming back this Sunday? Actually, I don't know if we can. Maybe we'll have to come back for a recap of Death Before Dishonor.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be crazy because I think this upcoming Wednesday, I'm on going to Dynamite, it appears. And then on the 18th and 19th, I'll be in Harrisburg, PA. So if you're looking to meet up with me, maybe get yourself a commission, buy some prints, just talk. I'll be at table A, number 1. Very first table in Harrisburg, so I'll be right on the corner spot. So I'm the first artist in Artist Alley, A1. Come and see the main event, the Cowboy.
Will you be in gimmick so the fans will recognize you?
I will. I will. Totally, I'll wear the hat. It's definitely coming with me, of course. But no, I'll be in gimmick, and yeah, I'll be there.
Comic Book Bob says, Mark will have to promote this on the next episode of Comicsgate Presents on Arts Channel. That would be fantastic, Bob. Thank you. So anyway, Phil, where can people find you at?
Well, you can find me on here on the Pod Guides. You can find me on the Best Friend Show. And you can find me on my Etsy link below. And then if you don't want to be paying for shipping, coming over to Harrisburg and I'll see you there.
Sounds good. Guys, you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Coney Waves. Also, make sure you subscribe to Primetime Poulton. Hit the notifications and check out U.S. Assassin. Check out Viking Wolf, still in demand. I'm going to start fulfilling that in a week or two once I'm done with these Sea Dog packages. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching us today, and we will see you next episode.